So, taking a long weekend with a few business friends in Bali, and we've just spent the last 5 hours masterminding, shark tanking, whatever you want to call it. We were going through our businesses, thinking about what's the main constraint we have at the moment, and what we're going to do to control, to go forward from there. So, we've got these guys in the back ruining my video. You guys suck.
It's meant to have background speaking your entrepreneurial friends.
Yeah.
That's what you need. It keeps it nice and candid. These are the entrepreneurial friends he's talking about.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
Um,
what did you learn from the mastermind? What was your number one takeaway in this from the mastermind?
This is what we're about to talk about.
Okay.
So, in this, I wanted to talk about today specifically do a thing before you teach a thing. And because there are lots of people in spaces of business, specifically in info products, who claim to have done a thing and they haven't, or they're switching with shiny objects, or I'll give you one specific example. There's a guy, Dean, you would have seen him in yesterday's video. He's got a fantastic business right now. Utterly fantastic. He does Airbnb management, and he's got 15 clients doing 15 grand a month-ish, 80% revenue. He does nothing. And he's got no limit as to how quickly he could scale this thing, and no limit on the fulfillment. And we just ran some numbers last night, and I was like, if you match my sales numbers and you're a sales guy, you could have a company worth like 5 mil in 6 weeks. But he's talking about doing content because he's got a different thing that he's chasing. And he's switching about talking about that instead. And to me, with my goals, I'm just like, that's crazy. And so my message for you guys today is realize why you're doing stuff. What's the actual goal that you're trying to achieve? So I'll step outside again. So if your goal is money, mine right now is money. No hiding the fact, and I'm super okay to admit it. Because the best way to make money is to create a product or service that is so good people tell everybody about it, and they want to stay with you, and they want to give you money because you are creating value for them. And so, if you have a cash cow like Dean does, he's created something that people really want, they hate. Everyone who goes into Airbnb, generally the story is it's their second property. They were told the thing of, do Airbnb, it's passive income, it just comes in, the money's easy. And the reality is it's not that, it's a second job. And he removes that constraint and he does turn it into that passive income. Now, the trade-off for them is that they don't make the money that they initially thought they would, and it ends up with not being so amazing, but that's business and that's opportunities. People get into things with half the story or with lacking some of the skill, and you end up oftentimes having to pay someone else to fix it for you. But that's what he does. Loads of people who have it. He's got a really clear system of getting sales. He does everything through cold outbound. So he's cold calling people who have the second property, and he talks to them and he's like, hey, do you have this situation? Do you hate it? And he's got a system that works, and he just plugs the numbers. He can pull that lever in 10x. And, well, this one's crazy, his retention, he's had 1 person churn in 3 years. That's wild. Crazy. But it's not what he wants to do. So he wants to help other business people create their offer, create content, and he wants to change up. And money isn't his main motivator in this scenario. So he's come to the conclusion with our help that to build content, the structure he should take is create content around building an Airbnb management company like he's done through cold outbound, talking about what he has done in the past because that's authentic to him. He knows what he's talking about. It's not a scam. And through that, he will generate new clients who are interested in learning more about that system. And by fulfilling them, he has now also learned the skill of how to acquire customers and clients through content, which later down the line he can then teach, which is what the goal he's trying to achieve right now is. So, long roundabout way of saying, and I've started the video with this, do cool stuff and tell people about what you've done. Don't do things you haven't done before and claim you know how to do it. That's the takeaway. But yeah, just walking around this sweet villa that we have hired for a long weekend. This is the living room. Sweet. That's where Sol's staying. Dean's down there. Me, Felix and Millie are directly below us. There's rooftop up there. And down there is the pool. Over there's a basketball court. And I can't get down there. All the way beneath us, right now, I'll just point to it down there, just to the right, over here, is a skate park. Absolutely wild. This place is nuts. I think for each of us it's costing like £300 each or something for 4 days. But to rent somewhere like this, if for four people, would be like £3 a month out here in Bali. Pretty wild. So yeah, that's the end of the video for today. Have a think about what is your actual goal, optimize for that. If you're doing something, if you're trying to teach people to do anything, please have done cool stuff first and then tell them about your cool stuff. And the reason that I say that is I do want to teach people business. But I've only made one 7-figure company so far. We're working on the second one, which is hopefully going to be our first 8-figure company. And I'm personally not a millionaire just yet. So I haven't filled my own personal requirements to give me the accreditation, the accolades to say, yes, I can tell other people how to do that yet. But this is why I'm now sharing my thoughts and stuff. Something for me to look back on, and hopefully you guys might find it interesting too. But honestly, I'm not fussed. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Peace.